Open your book to page 226. This is lesson 8.2. This lesson is on positive and zero exponent. So let's review a bit about the exponents. When you have x to the fourth power, this means it's x times x times x times x. That's what it means. Okay? And so when you have things like x to the 3 times x to the 2, this is equal to x times x multiplied by x and x. So this is equal to x to the 5 power, right? So again, this is cube, means you got 3. This 2 means you got 2 of them. So when you multiply, you got a total of 5, so you have x to the 5. So if you notice that this number, by adding this together, which means adding this together, so this is called a product rule, okay? So product rule says that when you have x to the a times x to the b, this will equal to x to the a plus b. Just like this over here, right? The 3 and the 2, you add, you get a 5. Okay. So that's the rule for the first one. So let's go to example 1. Example 1a, you got x to the 5 times x to the 2. So this will equal to x to the 7. Right? If you write it out, there are 5 of these and there are 2 of these. So you're going to get 7 of them. So that's why it's x to the 7 power. Okay, let's go to b. You get x times x squared. So this is going to be x to the 3 because there's one x over here and there are 2 of them over here. So you're going to get a total of 3. So that's why it's cubed. So when you don't see a number up here, that means it's 1. Okay, let's go to c. You got x to the 3 times x to the 7 times x to the 4. So when you multiply, you add, right? So there are 3 of these, 7 of these, and 4 of these. So all together, you're going to get x to the 14. Okay, and that's it. Again, the reason you add is because of these, right? Again, go back to this example. X to the 3 means you got 3x, xxx, right? And x squared means xx, right? When you multiply, you're going to get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So it's a 5 power. Okay, so that's the reason that you just when you have the product, you use the product rule. When you multiply, you add the exponents. So that's why you add 3 plus 7 plus 4 give you 14. Okay, let's go to example 1d. Example 1d, you got 10 to the 7 times 10 to the 5. So it's going to equal to 10 to the 12. Right? Again, you just add this together. Okay. And let's go to example 1e. You got 2 times 2 to the 3 times 2 to the 2. This is going to become 2 to the, remember, when there's no exponent means it's 1, right? Because you got a 2 over here. You got 3 over here, 3 of them over here, 2 of them over here. So you get that. So you're going to get 2 to the 6 power. Okay. Now, if the exponent is kind of high, you can just leave it. But if you multiply out, that's fine. If you multiply out, this will give you equal to 64. Okay. Let's go to 1f. You have 2 to the a times 2 to the b. So again, this is just apply your definition. Right? You're just going 2 to the a plus b. Right? When you have exponent, when you're multiplying, you just add the exponents. So this is applying your definition. Right? Again, when you're multiplying, you add the exponent. Right? You add. But in this case, they give you the variable, so you just add. Okay, example 1g. You got x to the 3 times y to the 2. And, well, this one, they are different variable, they are different base. Right? So you cannot do anything to it. So this one, nothing can be done. You just leave it alone. Okay? Again, this has to be an x in order to apply that. So again, in order to use a product rule, all the base have to be the same. They have to be the same kind in order to use the product rule. Now, when you multiply, do not multiply the base, right? Notice the base stay the same. Okay. So if you look at a word of caution on page 227, a word of caution is 2 to the 3, 2 to the 2, times 2 to the 3, okay? And a lot of people make a mistake, they multiply it together to become 4 to the 5 power. So this would be incorrect. So again, when you multiply, this would be incorrect. The correct answer would be 2 to the 5 power, right? Again, you got 2 of these, 3 of these, you're going to get 5 of these. So correct answer would be 2 to the 5, not 4 to the 5. So be careful with that. Okay, so that is called the product rule. Now next you need to learn is the power rule. So on page 227, the rule number 2, the power rule. This is when you have x to the a to the b. Notice this has only one factor, okay, whereas this one has 2. So make sure you know the difference between the two. Okay, this one has something times something. In this case, you add an exponent. This one you have a something to exponent to exponent. This is exponent of exponent. This is when you have two factors multiplied together. Okay, so in this case, this will equal to x to the a times b. So this one, in this case, you multiply. Okay, the reason you multiply, just give you an example. Okay, let's say if you have x to the 2 to the 3. Okay, in this case, this is same as x squared, x squared, x squared, right? That's what the 3 means. 3 means you got 3 of these. And now notice you got 2, 2, and 2. When you add 2 plus 2 plus 2 give you 6, right? See that? So that's the reason that when you have power, you multiply. Okay, over here, when you have the product means when you're multiplying this together, you add. Okay, so this one you multiply, this one you add. So make sure you get the two clear, not getting the two confused. Okay, let's go to example 2a. You have x to the 5 to the 4 power. So this will be x to the 20th power. Okay, example 2b. You got x to the 4 power. Now when there's no number means it's 1. Okay, so this one would be 4 times 1 will equal to just 4, right? Okay, again, when there's no number means it's 1. Okay, let's go to 2c. You got y to the 4 to the 3. So this will equal to y to the 12. Right, 3 times 4 give you 12. Okay, let's go to 2d. 2d, you got 10 to the 3 squared. So again, this is exponent of exponent, so that you apply the power rule. So 2 times 3 will give you 6, so 10 to the 6. Okay, let's go to 2e. You got 2 to the a to the b. So this is applying the definition, right? So again, your exponent of exponent, you multiply that. So this is equal to 2 to the a times b. Okay, and that's it. Okay, so again, this is the power rule. Now, next one, let's go to, on the bottom, you have the dividing rule or quotient rule. So you have the quotient rule. Quotient rule means division. So when you have divide, we're doing the opposite. So when you have x to the a divided by x to the b, okay, so this is doing the opposite as the multiplication. So if you remember the product rule, right? See the product rule, when you multiply, you add, right? So when you have division, you subtract. So this will be equal to x to the a minus b. Because division is the reciprocal of multiplication. So it's opposite. So negative b is opposite of positive b, right? So again, when you have multiplication, you add. When you have division, you subtract. Okay, so make sure you know the three rules, right? And the power rule is when you have exponent, you multiply. So make sure you're clear on the rules. Okay, so let's go over some examples. Let's go to example 3. Example 3a. You have x to the 6 over x squared. So when you have division, you subtract. So 6 minus 2 will give you 4. So you get x to the 4. The logic behind this is that x to the 6 is, there are 6 of them, right? Okay, x squared is, there are 2 of them. So that this will cancel out, right? So you got 4 left over, and that's the reason for that. So you're just going to subtract. Okay, let's go to 3b. You got y to the 3 over y. Now again, when you don't see the number means it's 1. So you got 3 minus 1 This will give you 2, so it'll be y to the 2. Okay, let's go to 3c. Get 10 to the 7 over 10 to the 3. So this 7 minus 3 give you 4, so it'll be 10 to the 4. Okay, let's go to 3d. Okay, 3d, you got x to the 5 over y squared. This one, because they're different variable, different base, so you cannot do anything to it. So this one, nothing can be done, so that's it. Okay, so this one cannot do anything. Okay, let's go to example 3e. You got 8x to the 3 over 2x. So in this case, you have to simplify the number. So 8 and 2 can divide by 2, so it becomes 1. This becomes 4. And x to the 3 over x, it becomes x to the 2. So answer would be 4x squared. Okay, let's go to example 3f. Example 3f, you have 6a to the 3, b to the 4 over 9ab squared. So what you need to do is you need to simplify and you start with number and go down the alphabet. So 6 and 9 are divisible by 3, so divide by 3 you get 2, divide by 3 you get 3. Now make sure you have enough space above and below so you have room to write whatever is left over. So a to the 3 and the a, again when you cancel out, so these have 3 of them, these have 1, so when you cancel out or you subtract, you're going to get a to the 2, right? 3 minus 1 give you 2. This one, same thing, you got 4, you got 2, so 2 of them going to cancel out, so you subtract, right? 4 minus 2 give you 2, so it'll be b squared. So this way, so this one you're going to end up with 2a squared, b squared over 3. So again, make sure you have enough room to do all the cancellations and write down the leftovers. Okay, let's go to example 3g. You got 2 to the a over 2 to the b. So again, this is applying the definition. When you have division, you subtract. So it would be 2 to the a minus b. So again, this is just practice your definition. Okay, now for this rule, for the quotient rule, the x cannot equal to 0. Because remember, if your x equal to 0, you're going to get 0 in the denominator. So they become undefined. So again, so you cannot have a 0 in the denominator, or else it will become undefined. So just be aware of that. Okay, now let's go and look at the 0 power. So let's say if you have x to the 4 over x to the 4, right? Well, you know that this is x to the 4, right? So if there are 4 of them, so you know that this is equal to 1, right? But if you apply the quotient rule, this is also equal to 4 minus 4, right? So it'd be x to the 0, right? 4 minus 4 equal to 0. So you know, that's how you know that the 0 power equal to 1. So you can see that x to the 0 equal to 1. Okay? So again, x to the 4, right? There are 4 of them, so all I'm going to get cancelled is equal to 1. But if you apply the quotient rule, right, when you have division, you subtract, right? So 4 minus 4 give you 0. So you can see they are equal. Okay? So this is how you prove the 0 exponent will give you equal to 1. So let's go to example 4 on page 229. So example A, you have a to the 0, so this is equal to 1. For B, 10 to the 0, this is equal to 1. C, 6x to the 0. Now, this is 6 times x to the 0. So this part equal to 1. So 6 times 1 will give you 6. Okay, because there's a coefficient in front, right? So again, this part over here is 1. This part over here is 1. So 1 times 6 will give you 6. So make sure you're familiar with the 0 exponents.